What's up, guys? It is a Monday night here at Snap Fitness. Gonna hit some chest. Been really itching for this workout all day. I'm really excited. It's a pretty empty gym right now. It's about like 8:30, 9 o'clock, so pretty empty. Everyone's pretty much in bed or like ending their day. Looks like I'm just getting mine started, but hell yeah. We're gonna hit some chest now. Legs is definitely my favorite muscle group to hit. You probably don't hear that too often. Yeah, legs is my favorite muscle group to hit. Definitely quads, deadlift, squat, anything legs, I'm all there. I would say chest is easily my number 2. Second favorite muscle group to hit. In my opinion, chest is just extremely intense. Like if you're trying to push something, lock out, whether it's like dumbbell incline, Smith incline, regular bench press, it's always gonna be intense. You really gotta lock in to drive something up off your chest. And I just love the feeling, I love the pump. For me, when you hit chest, or at least when I hit chest, it makes me feel the most like a bodybuilder, if that makes any sense. Even though I'm not really a bodybuilder, my whole goal is really just to be lean with a lot of muscle and really strong for my body weight. That's kind of my whole goal. I wouldn't say functional fitness, I wouldn't throw that term around. I would just say lean, athletic, and strong, and being as fit and healthy as I can possibly be. That's pretty much my overall fitness goal in a nutshell. However, I would argue that I don't really have a goal. I kind of find that when you don't have a goal and you're constantly just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, that's when you see the best out of yourself, or at least the most optimal results in life. So hell yeah, there's no limit. You don't want to cap yourself with the ceiling because one day you're eventually going to break through the ceiling too. So never limit yourself, never apply any boundaries, just go all in and see what you become. That's my advice for today. Hell yeah. So the movements for the day, we're gonna do dumbbell incline, dips, and then Smith machine incline. Everything else is just gonna be pretty much pump accessory work, but those are gonna be the 3 main movements today. Smarter, not harder, guys. As long as you're in the gym consistently, that's what matters. That's the common denominator. However, keep in mind that the more movements you have, that doesn't equal the more muscle you're gonna gain. Just because you have a ton of movements that day doesn't mean you're gonna pack on muscle cell by muscle cell per movement that you add to your workout. The last scenario you wanna be in is that guy who's got like 10, 15 different workouts for the day. And it's like, at that point, how much is really contributing to our goals? You need to lock in and give the majority of your effort to 3, maybe 5 movements at most. 3 to 4 is kind of like the hot spot for me. Typically the harder the muscle group, so let's say it's like legs, I find chest pretty intense too, but intensity is the most important thing. If you're not gonna go intense, there really is no point in coming at all, at least in my opinion. You wanna pick 3 to 4 movements that are really gonna engage the muscle group of that day. You want them to be really intense with moderate volume, and if you just go intense, lock in those 3 to 4 movements, like I said, less is more. I'd guarantee if you just locked in and put in all your effort, the majority of you would see more results with less movements versus a day that's like 10, 15 different workouts all over the gym. Like that's just too much. Your body can't respond to that in a way that's effective enough to grow muscle consistently. So what I find, less is more. Give it your all for 3 to 4 movements, whatever muscle group you're hitting that day, and your pump is gonna be pretty wild. Anyways, that's enough talking from me. I'm really itching to get this workout started. It's enough of me talking. It's time to work out. All right, guys, one thing I just wanted to explain real quick. You're gonna see me do like sets of like sometimes as low as 3 reps, 3 to 6 reps. This is what's known as feeder sets. Now the idea is here, let's say you're gonna do a top set on like dumbbell incline for 70s or 80s, let's say. It doesn't make sense to grab the 50s and do like 10 reps because then let's say maybe you could have done the 80s for 10 reps, but now you've definitely gassed yourself out because you spent so much time in the warm up. So a lot of times the warm up is definitely over exaggerated. Don't get me wrong, you definitely want some blood flow before you hop in to the workout, hop into the movement and start getting a pump. But at the same time, you don't want to overdo it and spend so much time in your warm-up sets doing like sets of like 8 to 10, the same as you would for your working sets, because then you're kind of holding yourself back at that point and limiting your own strength. One thing I will say is that your warm-up sets, the amount of volume and reps that you're doing in those should not be the same or equal to than your working sets, if that makes sense. The effort should not feel the same in a warm-up set versus a working set. Hopefully that helps you get some gains. All right, that was 5 reps with 55s. I'm gonna move up to the 80s. I feel pretty good, so we're gonna see how those move. right, guys, you saw how that went. We got 2 sets, 2 heavy sets. Now, I think you need to be very selective with your movements of the day. So for example, because I'm doing 2 incline chest movements, sorry, kind of out of breath, but because I'm doing 2 incline chest movements, I'm not gonna go crazy on the volume with the dumbbell weight. So because that's free weight, I kind of like to go heavier with that, be more like explosive. So I usually do 2 sets of anywhere between like, sometimes as low as like 5 up until like 8 reps. Now, when you're a beginner, you definitely want to do more reps than that, but when you've been training like 4 years plus like me, not to sound like I'm better or anything, but when you've been training for a while, once you reach that intermediate trainer status, then you can like mess around with the reps, go heavier and bring the reps down lower, you know what I mean? And get some more muscle mass, a little muscle confusion in there. You want to mix up the 2 training styles. You don't want to always go low reps and low sets with heavy weight, or always go high sets with a lower weight that you can control more. It's got to be a struggle. If the set wasn't a struggle, unless it's a warm-up, I would ask the person, why did we just do that set? I would seriously ask you as an individual, if it wasn't a warm-up and not a struggle, what was the purpose of that set exactly? But hell yeah, we're gonna get into dips. I'm gonna take this off pretty soon. It's getting kind of hot in here, guys, but I like to keep the pump cover on as long as I can throughout the workout, because when I take it off and see how the physique's looking that day, that's like the reward of the workout. In my opinion, that's how I see things, I don't know. I kind of like to work myself more and more and more, make it more painful as I work out. So that pump reveal, that physique reveal, it's that much more exhilarating once, I see myself. If you just like take it off at the beginning of the workout, I don't know, I feel like there's no climax, no reward, you know what I mean? But anyways, once again, enough talking. Gonna hit the dips, weighted. Let's go do it. Yeah, that last one, I don't know, it just froze midair, but that was real tough. Sorry, gosh, yeah, that was terrible. That was terrible, but let's keep going. chest day. Solid 4 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5, somewhere in between there, somewhere in that range. But it was a really good workout, really good pump. I had a long day, but despite that, regardless, still made the most of it, got in here. My intensity was the #1 factor, which is like kind of how I rate my workouts. If the intensity remains consistent to the point where I feel like I couldn't have given any more for that set or for that rep, then check that box off. That's a workout I'm gonna remember, of course. Pushing yourself beyond pain to the point where you injure yourself, that's totally different from being smart and in your head, keeping the mind-muscle connection for every single rep, making sure the eccentric, which is when lowering the weight to do another rep, is under your control the whole time. Each and every set, you're gonna be good to go. Not only that, you're gonna gain a lot of muscle tissue really fast. You see in the beginning, when your body isn't used to resistance training, it's a shock to the body. So you're gonna feel really sore your first like 2 weeks of training, maybe even 3 weeks, but once you're consistent enough, your body will eventually develop a tolerance to that process, and that's gonna make you recover faster and come back stronger too. It's all about consistency. You gotta keep coming here and you're gonna see the results. If you throw in the towel after 1, 2, or even like 3 attempts, how could you possibly expect to see any results or success in fitness at all? It really just goes for anything in life. If you don't show up, if you don't give everything you have, then you should expect the same in return. So whatever you put into something, remember, energy is co-responsive and everything comes back around. The effort that you put in, the results that you get in the end when everything is said and done, is the reflection of the effort that you put in the whole time. Your life is 100% your responsibility and nobody else's. It's really late. I better get out of here. If you enjoyed this video, if this made you motivated to go hit the gym, if you made it this far in the video, it means the world to me. My name is Liam. I'm a 22-year-old personal trainer, founder of Ultra Fitness. If you found this video motivational or helpful in any way towards your fitness journey, you can reach out to me for one-on-one coaching, completely customizable programs anywhere from 3 to 6 months. With me as your coach the whole way through, one-on-one. We meet once a week and I design your program completely tailored down to your needs, your fitness goals. Whether you wanna burn fat significantly and finally see your abs for the first time in your life, see some muscle. If you're looking to put on muscle and actually add muscle tissue for the first time in your life, reach out to my Instagram, which is at liam.canning. Put that on the screen. You can reach out to me for one-on-one personal training and you'd be my client through my Ultra Fitness app, which you would see your entire program completely customizable. We would meet weekly to make sure that you're reaching the goals that I have set for you. The whole goal is to be confident in your body and prioritize your health, because at the end of the day, you have no one but yourself. Like I said earlier, before you should prioritize your health more than anything else. At the end of the day, it's an investment into you, and it's up to you to make that decision. You can't expect anyone else to care as much as you do or to make that decision for you. Therefore, you have to do what's best for you. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. It means the world. It was a really good workout. There'll be many more to come. I'm pretty tired. It's been a long night. I think that about calls it. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you, YouTube.